What's up, everyone out there, YouTube world, Facebook? We're gonna make some chili for y'all today, some green chili. Our ingredients today are, if you're over 21, marijuana. If not, the ingredients for the chili are 1 onion, 2 Anaheim peppers, 1 little teeny tiny banana pepper, 6 jalapenos we got there. These are, by the way, these are from our garden. And these tomatoes here, they're from our garden too. So some tomatoes, some pork, some garlic and salt, pepper, some Chipotle chilies. These ones I get from the store, La Costena. These ones are good. You need these. I'll show you how to cut these up later on. There's a special way to do them. If not, it can make your food taste like no good. Some more tomatoes if we need them, which we probably will. And then some of my favorite red chili. This one's just New Mexico chili and little herbs and spices, but mostly chili. And yeah, we're gonna make some green chili. We will be back. Alright guys, we're back. I got me a special knife here. I like these knives. But seriously, we're really poor, can't afford knives, so this is all I got. But I really like it anyway. I don't know how you guys cut onions. I know there's a right way and all this and all that, and how they cut them over there at the restaurants, and they'll tell you do this and do the. However you want to cut your onion, cut your onion. Sometimes I'll cut them the way they do in restaurants, the way I was taught. I cooked a lot in my younger days, but I cooked at a lot of restaurants. So yeah, they leave the back on. They'll cut down it and then across, and then they'll cut out little squares. But this is another way to do it too. I like these red onions. They're a little stronger, but just as good. My wife, she only likes the onions when I cook them. She'll tell you she hates onions, but she likes them when I cook them, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay, so in order to save time and space, we're gonna probably stop this video right here. This part of the video, I mean, right here, and then we'll come back to you. What's up, guys? I'm back. One thing I forgot to tell you is we need some grease. That pork doesn't have very much grease. We're going to use grapeseed oil. And if that pork, that fat, I'm gonna cut off of that pork. Hey guys, we're back. Now we're gonna cut the peppers. So I cut them already, cut the tops off, then I cut them in half, and I took the seeds out. So we want to cook the peppers with the onions because they're hard and they take a little longer to cook. Alright guys, we're going to add the rest of the peppers. Alright guys, now we're going to cut the meat. Had to switch to get a bigger knife. Doesn't have to be that. Cut that thin. Depending on your preference. If you're going to cut it, if you want to cook it right away and you don't have time to wait for the meat to soften, then cut the meat small. If you got a little time, you can cook your chili for 2 hours or more. Then you can cut it a little bit bigger. So yeah, and basically, so yeah, I like to cut the meat like that, long ways, get it into the little, I guess like a pork chop almost, and then let me switch to my other sharper knife. And like that, pretty simple. Like that fat, and take that fat out of there. because we already have oil in the pan, so we don't need all that extra fat. Plus, it's kind of hard to eat, to chew. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for saving every part of the animal and eating it, but for right now we're not going to use it. Alright, so after we got them, you guys know I forgot to show it though, but cut them down, cut them into strips, and then cut them into little chunks. Alright guys, so that onion and that jalapeno is ready. You can see they're all crispy and perfect. So now we're going to add the pork. Alright guys, next we're going to do these chilies because we're doing them now because they're already cooked. So we don't have to worry about them being too hard. These ones are the ones I told you about earlier, that you have to get all of this little top piece off of the chili. If you don't, then it tastes really gross, and maybe some of these seeds out. But anyways, the only way to get to it is to really get to it, and this is how. So all of them seeds, a lot of these seeds, try to get out some if you can, but just cut it up a little. And I'll show you the part of the chili that tastes really bad. It's this top piece right here. That little thing, you leave that in there and it'll throw your whole chili off. And then ooh, some of them seeds just squeezed out nice. So yeah, and you really have to just go through each chili to see if it's there or not. And if it's there, take it out, because it'll throw your whole chili off. But yeah, just cut all these up, and then we're gonna add this to the food. Alright, here's them Chipotle chilies. I went through it all just to make sure there was no tips of the chilies in there, because like I said, sometimes I've made it right from and used it right from the can without doing that, and sometimes you get that piece in there. It's not always, but sometimes you do, and if you do, it will ruin your entire chili. So let's get those Chipotles in there. Alright, last thing we got to do is do these tomatoes. Like I said, these ones are from our garden, so like these little ones, really you don't need to do nothing but just cut them in half. I like to leave the tomatoes pretty big anyway, because they will just soften up and shrink and kind of fade away. Fade into the chili, not fade away. I like to taste the tomatoes. I like them to be at least the texture enough to know it's a tomato, but I do like them soft. So these little ones, don't cut them in your hands like I'm doing. It's probably a bit dangerous. Probably use the cutting board like I'm doing now. I don't know why I was doing that. Probably because I didn't want to get the juices all over. They explode when you cut into them. So yeah, so if there's a funny thing I'll show you guys that happened with my tomatoes this year. These ones, so we grew these ones, and I don't know if you can tell, but look at that. Those are red, delicious. They're meaty tomatoes. But this next tomato I'm going to show you guys is one of the ones I had a little, not problem, but it grew kind of funny. So this one, so I don't know why it grew like this, but It grew with these splits in it. Almost like it grew so fast, it like outgrew its own skin. But inside, the tomato is just perfect. Perfect. But yeah, so we're gonna cut the rest of these up and then add them to the chili. Alright guys, so we got them tomatoes cut up and we're going to add them. Tomatoes from the garden. Ain't nothing like tomatoes from the garden. Oh, there's a quick tip. If you're cutting chilies like I was doing earlier and you're touching them all up with your fingers, don't touch your face because it will burn. Like my face is burning right now. But we're gonna do the spices here in a second. Look at that. Ooh, looks good. Alright guys, so we're back. We're going to, I forgot to tell you, so I added 3 cans of tomatoes earlier. Now we're going to add the last of the Mohicans. Well, not the last, but the chili. So if you have a favorite kind of chili or something, add it to it. I got this little Mexico style chili, so I'm not going to add too much. Probably about a tablespoon. And some garlic, salt. It's probably a tablespoon as well. A little bit of that. Obviously salt to preference. Alright guys, so now we have added everything to the pot and it is looking mighty delicious. So now we're going to cover it and reduce the heat to medium, below medium. So probably like between 3 and 4, and we're going to cook it for about 2 hours. I'll show you when we're done. We'll show you in a second. Alright guys, it's been like an hour and it's looking dynamite. Woo. Alright, we'll see you back about another hour. Alright guys, we are done with the chili. It's done. It's been cooking for 2 hours and it is finished. That'll be great on anything. In the morning, on your eggs, in a burrito. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make burritos. While we were cooking this, I also cooked some beans and we just mashed these up with this mixer I have. It's this little thing right here, and you put it in there and but look at them beans, look at that creaminess. Look at that. Woo! But alright guys, so that's our green chili recipe, even though it looks red. This is our green chili. And this is my first cooking video.
Go.
Alright, so that's our video. Thank you for watching. And let me try it. Soft. And the beans, hold on. Don't cut it yet, because they're going to be able to tell how delicious this is through the video. Look at that. Oh! I'm spilling. It's too hot. So soft. Take care.